Ohio gozaimasu. Morning, guys. This is Naka. So earlier, I was wondering what I was going to talk about today regarding Dust, and I was thinking about the peripheral support for Dust, and what I came up with was that Dust supports the Move, the PlayStation Move, and I don't know if that's a very good peripheral per se. I've seen, every time you load Dust, you see that warning, to move stuff out of the way because you're going to be using the PlayStation Move. From what I've read in the forums and from people I know that have tried it or used it, just say it's unusable. But that brought me to another idea or thought. Is have you've probably heard of Eve Valkyrie? That's the Oculus Rift dogfighting space sim, and an interesting thought came to me that what if Dust supported the Oculus Rift, or at some point, I mean, obviously it's not going to come out on the PlayStation 3. I mean, maybe at a standard resolution, and maybe not with the head tracking, but we might be looking at something more along the lines of, say, just a glorified TV headset capability. Then again, now that I think about it, that's not really supporting it. That's just, you could do that right now, actually, with the developer kit. Anyways, that kind of brings in the aspects of more along the vehicle support for being able to view in either third person or first person, like a drop ship, being able to look around to see what's on the ground or in the air. Because at the moment, the dropship camera isn't very good, but as infantry, it may or may not help. I mean, I don't really see it doing much. From the videos that I've seen of the Oculus Rift first-person shooters aren't really the best thing to support it. But all of this is hinged on the idea that the PlayStation 4 is going to have support for the Oculus Rift, because the PlayStation 3 is it's very unlikely that it's going to come out on the PlayStation 3. However, for the PlayStation 4, if Dust does kind of see that port over to it, we might see more interesting peripheral support and more interesting, basically the gameplay can completely change just via the fact of hardware. It'd still be a really cool concept to, tool around with, I think, for CCP if they were to, because I know they've had in their history they try to work with the idea of virtual worlds, and Eve was actually their first project of that caliber to try and to make a virtual world. They initially started with VR, but if they were to experiment with like walking in stations, for instance, or even, I mean, the closest thing we've got to walking in stations at the moment is the war barge. Before we go into a battle, that's actually the closest thing we've got to walking in stations for Eve, for the moment. During last FanFest, they were talking about how they're going to continue to roll updates on getting the polish of the game and continuing with fixes and enhancements for gameplay. But in the next few updates after the year starts, or next FanFest, we're going to start seeing more content releases. We've already seen this with this last update with 1.8. That's actually the first of many to come. Here I am going on a tangent about VR, but what I think might be an easier step instead of just going straight to the VR is obviously PvE. Everybody wants that. I recently heard that they're looking for AI specialists, so that'll definitely that's looking like it's going to start turning into a thing. PvE, and then the stuff attached to it. Maybe we might see stuff like walking in stations as a like you go and visit a person in their quarters, or just like basically they talked about this at FanFest for the War Barge and like using it as your home, but that was in like 2009. So more recently, they were talking about at the last FanFest about basically having an asset, and that's the War Barge. and you would have other Eve pilots defend you, and you'd bring that to a nullsec planet and have mercs take over the planet. I guess what I'm really more interested in this game is the metagaming aspects where you have camaraderie, rivalries, you basically it's a social. It's more, I think, honestly, more of a social game than it is than a combat or a shoot things and they explode kind of game. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do love to see things explode. I mean, that's probably why I tank a lot, but beyond that, really, you do want to have some sort of social, like, either access to other players, essentially. And what better way to have that than to have a place to gather, or a place where you can shout at other people. I mean, we do have the forums for this kind of thing, but it'd be cool to have an in-game mechanic that also supports it. Here I am in my tank, my rail tank, looking for other tanks to kill. I only get this one guy. The rest of the game, I just drive around in circles, looking for shit to kill. Don't really have much luck, though. I mean, yeah. Yeah, I totally forgot about fighter pilots, or airplanes. Yeah, I can't remember the name for them, sorry. But basically, there's a couple more vehicles that they've been showing for a long time, and that's the speeder and the fighter jet. And it would be most effectively used, the Oculus that is, for the fighter jets, because you really do need to look up, down, left, and right to see where you're going. I mean, they're basing a whole game off of this, Eve Valkyrie. So, please, CCP, please add it. I mean, even if it's like a year or two away. I mean, I know the Oculus isn't out yet, but I mean, the developer kit is. But I mean, the consumer one. Please add it. Please add support down the road, or have some sort of plan to do it. I can wait. I'll wait. Just have it planned. I know you're ambitious like that. Yep, still driving in circles like a wolf with no prey. Yeah. Did you know that if a wolf doesn't have a prey to kill, a sheep, for instance, they die. They can't do anything. They're essentially just things that move, that have sharp teeth and can't do shit. On a side note, jihad jeeps. Yeah, jihad jeeps. We strap a bunch of remote explosives on an LAV and drive it into a tank. As a tanker, normal tankers would be like, "Oh my God, oh, fuck that, no way, fuck, get rid of sticky remotes." No, I say no. I'm a tanker, and I say that is actually a legitimate strategy. It's actually kind of funny when I get blown up by it. I have a good laugh, and it's like, fuck, man, he got me. He put the effort into it. I mean, yeah, it doesn't cost as much, but I mean, it's kind of a really creative tactic. I mean, you don't normally see a blueberry go and do that. I mean, usually, sometimes you do, but usually you'll see someone who actually knows what they're doing do it. So, all right. So now that I'm done rambling, tell me what you think. If you really want to see Oculus Rift support or any kind of PvE, I'm seeing a lot of people say, yeah, definitely PvP or PvE, sorry, and on the forums and so on and so forth. But yeah, leave a comment if you want to share your thoughts or ideas. Give me some suggestions, for further videos. Other than that, yeah, this guy would not die. Fuck him. Well, if you like what you saw, go ahead and subscribe or thumbs up the video. I'll leave some information in the comments about the Oculus Rift for you. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Ciao.
Mission failed. Phone reserves depleted. completed. Commencing TechNet shutdown.